Hey guys, and welcome to French 2 Module 2, Lecture 2. Today we're going to continue reviewing French 1. Alright, so open your notebooks to this section and let's take notes. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is the ways to say a or an. And as you may remember, those ways are un, une, and des. Un is masculine, une is feminine, and des is plural. Right here, I want you to try to write an example sentence using one of these words, un, une, or des. All right, next up we have the ways to say the. Those ways, we have 4 ways, and they are le, la, le, and les. Again, I want you to try to make an example sentence using one of these 4. Pause the video if you need to. The next is at or to. The French only have one word that means at and to. Okay, we've got 2 words. You need to remember from last year how at or to contracts with the ways to say the. So remember, we've got le, la, les, or le, la, le, and les. And every time we have at the or to the, we have to contract in French. So those contractions are a plus le is o, a plus la is a la, a plus le is a le, and a plus les is o. Okay? O is for masculine, a la is for feminine, a le is for words that start with a vowel, and o is for plural. Let's move on to the word for of, from. Again, the French only have one word for our 2 words, and that word is de. De has contractions with the as well, okay? And those contractions are de plus le is du, de plus la is de la, de plus le is de le, and de plus les is des. All right, pause the video right now if you need to fill in the rest of this chart. All right, let's move on to the next part of the chart, the possessive adjectives, which are the ways to say my, your, his, her, our, y'all's, your, and their. And those possessive adjectives have 3 forms each in French. There's a masculine, a feminine, and a plural. See at the top where I've written M, F, and PL? Okay, so my has 3 ways, mon, ma, mes. The first one is masculine, the second one is feminine, and the third one is plural. Your has 3 forms, ton, ta, te. His or her has 3 forms, son, sa, se. Our has 3 forms, notre, nos, notre, nos. Y'all or your has 3 forms, votre, vos. And their has 3 forms, leur, and leur. Okay? The thing that you need to remember in French is that when you possess, you have to agree with the noun, okay? Not the possessor. So if we say her apple in English, we know who it is. It's her, it's a girl, okay? Because her agrees with the possessor. But in French, we agree with the noun. So if we say her apple, we say sa pomme. Sa agrees with the noun, la pomme. If we say her boy, we say son garçon. Son agrees with the noun, not with her. Okay? So when you possess, I suggest you agree with the noun if you want an A. Let's review the forms of which or what. Again, the French only have one word for which and what, even though we have 2. Quel, and quel. They all sound the same, all 4 ways, but they're spelled differently. The top 2 are masculine, the bottom 2 are feminine. The top one is masculine singular, and the second one is masculine plural. The bottom first one is feminine singular, and then the second one on the bottom is feminine plural. Okay, so if you say quelle heure est-il? Heure is feminine, okay? So you have to put the feminine form of which, what in front of heure. All right, what about the ways to say all? There are 4 forms, just like quel. There's a masculine singular, masculine plural, feminine singular, feminine plural, okay? And the top 2 sound the same, and the bottom 2 sound the same, okay? So the top 2 are tu and tu, And the bottom two are tout and toute. Okay? And guess what? More agreement. You have to make these words agree with their noun too. So do you see how this whole page has words that have to agree with the noun that they're talking about? The possessive adjectives, which, what, and all have to agree with their noun. Okay? So if you say tous les garçons, you would use tout, T-O-U-S. If you say toutes les filles, you would use T-O-U-T-E-S. All right, let's do the ER verb endings, okay? Last year you learned that there were 3 kinds of regular verbs, ER, IR, and RE. These are the ER verb endings, EESE, ONS, EZ, ENT. Okay, so let's conjugate an ER verb. And go back to that other screen if you need to pause and write those endings in. All right, so here's aimer. As you can see in the first box, the words end with our endings, E, ES, E. Okay? So let's go ahead and conjugate them. J'aime, tu aimes, il, elle, on aime, nous aimons, vous aimez, ils, elles aiment. Okay? And you might want to take a note that the ENT in the last conjugation, ils, elles aiment, A-I-M-E-N-T, that ENT is silent. Let's do our IR verb endings. IS, ISIT, ISSONS, ISSEZ, ISSENT. Okay, so let's conjugate one of our regular IR verbs, finir. Je finis, tu finis, il, elle, on finit, nous finissons, vous finissez, ils, elles finissent. Let's do our RE verb endings. S, nothing. ONS, easy. ENT, again, the ENT is silent, okay? And here's a regular RE verb, attendre. J'attends, tu attends, il, elle, on attend, nous attendons, vous attendez, ils, elles attendent. Now, if you don't remember what aimer, finir, and attendre mean, they are aimer means to like or to love, finir means to finish, and attendre means to wait. All right, next up, let's talk about past participles. What is a past participle? It's a form of the verb that is used with past tenses. Okay, so for example, when you say je suis allé, aller is the past participle, okay? So let's go ahead and go over some of the past participles that we learned last year in French 1. We're going to give the past participle for all of these verbs. All right, so the first verb is être, and its past participle is était. The second past participle is aller. And this is a special verb because it has to agree with its subject, okay? It's conjugated with être, and it has to agree with its subject. This may look familiar. If it doesn't, go ahead and study it now, and we will be reviewing it later in the year. All right, so if you will remember back to last year, the past participle is aller, and it has an optional E for feminine subjects and an optional S for plural subjects. The next verb is venir, and it is a lot like aller in the fact that it has to agree with its subject. So there's an optional E for feminine subjects and an optional S for plural subjects. Faire has the past participle fait. Avoir has the past participle eu. And on that U, I want you to remember that you're going to make an oo shape with your lips, just like you're saying ooh la la. And you're going to say like no duh inside of your mouth. Okay, so make oo, say The next one is aimer. Its past participle is aimer. The next one is finir, and its past participle is fini. The next one is attendre, and its past participle is attendu. All right, so this week you need to write down and memorize all of those past participles. The next thing we're going to do is the sentence starts, okay? So this is just a reminder of how to begin sentences. Get going with something that you memorized, and then you can think along the way of what the rest of what you want to say is, okay? So here are our sentence starts. Il y a, there is. Il y a, there are. Je pense que, I think that. Je crois que, I believe that. Qui est-ce que? Who? Qu'est-ce que? What? Où est-ce que? Where? Pourquoi est-ce que? Why? Comment est-ce que? How? Quand est-ce que? When? Avec qui est-ce que? With who? Combien de? How many? The next thing we're going to do is give you connecting words that go in between longer sentences, okay? So we got you started with saying something out loud that you memorized with the sentence starts. And in this chart, we're going to make sure that you have a way to join smaller sentences so that you can make longer ones. Okay, so here are the connectors. Mais, ou, et, avec. And then making a sentence negative is ne, verb pas. Because, parce que. Maybe is peut-être. If is si. There is i. Some of is on. Someone is quelqu'un. Something is quelque chose. Nothing is rien. No one is personne. To be in the middle of doing something is être en train de. All right, now you'll notice that in the right-hand column, there's an example sentence for each one of these. I want you to copy these down in your notebook, and if you don't understand exactly what the sentence says, your work is to translate it, okay? So this is warming up your brain on translating. All right, so you can pause the video now and write down all of these sentences. The last one is that, and that is que. Okay, so pause and write. And that's the end. All right, I hope you enjoyed Module 2. I will see you in Module 3.